everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are watching on YouTube, welcome back to my private Facebook group if you're watching on Facebook. I am Martine Felton, and today I'm going to be talking about spirit animals, your power animals, the spirit of the animals that are your guides, your animal spirit guides, the ones who are in your court, who walk with you, who protect you, who send you messages, and all of that good stuff. So, in any case, let's get started. I got distracted by a call. Sorry about that, guys. But so we all know that we have spirit guides, right? We have angels, we have spirit guides. The spirit realm is more than just guides. There are animals that are our guides too. So, especially if you've had a pet and they passed on, that pet's soul is still hanging around, is still protecting you, still guarding you. It has to do with your journey as well. So, as always, I have notes. So think of if you always come in contact with a particular animal or insect, think of that animal or that insect's behavior, and you can pretty much figure out what they symbolize, what they represent. So, how do you find out which animal is kind of your guide, one of your guides at least? Um, I found out one of my animal guides through a reading that a medium gave me, which made perfect sense, and I'll get into it later. But really, your animal guide will choose you. You don't choose them. They choose you. So pay attention to the animals or the insects that you constantly come in contact with. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to animals that show up in your dreams. That's a major confirmation as to your animal guide. And pay attention to if a certain animal shows up in meditation. That's a major confirmation, as well as ones that you come in constant contact with. So there are a few animals that represent. I'm going to just talk about a few animals. I'm not going to talk about a bunch. And then we're going to get into a pick a card reading, where we'll see. Well, you'll pick a card, a pile, and we'll see what animal guide comes up for you. So, let's talk about. Let me share my screen here, and let's talk about the bee. All right. So, all right. So we're first talking about the bee, the bee as an animal guide, and what they symbolize, what they represent. The bee is a symbol of hard work. You know that phrase, busy as a bee. The bee is a really hard worker. It is generally used to describe hardworking people. In the animal kingdom, the bee works tirelessly, never takes breaks, and is focused on quality of work, and is really, really dedicated. And really happiness is, for the bee, hard work. That's where they get their happiness. That's where their rewards are derived from hard work. So like I said, the bee is really, really hard worker. So the shadow aspect of that though is overworking, being a workaholic, focused on climbing that ladder, that corporate ladder, focused on achieving and not living, like, and being removed from all the other aspects of life, thinking about work, 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 work. The bee showing up in your life can be an indication that you may need to work harder or you're working too hard. Okay, it depends on your situation. So you may need to hone in on your craft and put more effort into something. The bee encourages you to build solid foundations that are in harmony with your environment and await the sweet rewards. Meaning, the sweet rewards, like, the bee, honey, they make honey. So that's what they're working tirelessly for, is to make that honey, to get that sweet reward. And so if you're always coming in contact with a bee, and it past comes across your path very, very often, it could mean that you need to, you're a hard worker, or you need to work harder on something, or you need to not work so hard, take breaks. So it depends on your situation. But at the end of it all, the bee delivers a sweet reward. There's always going to be a reward for you after you have worked tirelessly. Okay. So the next spirit animal guide that I wanted to talk about is, let's see, is the butterfly. So we all know the butterfly, right? A lot of us know that the butterfly symbolizes personal transformation. That's a very common, you know, um, symbolization for the butterfly. The butterfly is constantly showing, if the butterfly is constantly showing up for you, pay attention to the areas of your life that need changing, that need to be worked on, because there may be some changes that you need to make. There may be something that you may be going through that requires your attention, like your really focused attention. You might be moving through different life cycles. You might be going through a renewal, a rebirth. You might be elevating, because the butterfly flies. You might be elevating from like earthly matters to a higher consciousness. It could mean a lot of different things, but the real core of butterfly symbolism is transformation. And it's like the dying of one part of yourself, and the rebirth of another. Okay. So then we have the dog, which I'm the dog is derived from the wolf spirit. And they all come, like coyotes, dogs, they're all derived from the wolf spirit. So this is my animal guide. And I said I was going to talk about that in the broadcast, but I used to always, there was a period in my life where I was always dreaming about dogs. And I have a fear of dogs, a mild fear, but a fear nonetheless. Um, so I had this dream that I was walking down my childhood block. And when I was a kid, there was this lady, this that she lived in this house alone, this big old house, It was like dirty and dark and had all trees around it, and she had these big gates up, and she had all these German shepherds. And I always used to be afraid to walk by her house. All of the kids on the block were afraid of her because she was kind of scary. And she had all these German shepherd dogs. So walking down the block, and the dogs would always bark, always bark. And so, and we would run. So I had a dream that I'm walking down the very same childhood block, and I get to her house, and the dogs is like a bunch of them, and the dogs are running to the gate, and they usually just jumped on the gate. But then in this part in the dream, the gate busted open, and the dogs came out, and I started running down the block. So I was like, I can't keep running. I can't keep running. These dogs were coming, and they were gaining on me. So then there was one particular dog, and they were all German shepherds. There was one, I was like, okay, I can't keep running, right? So I stopped, and I put my hand out to the dog, and it like lovingly it jumped, it sniffed my hand and started licking my hand, and it was like the best, cutest, most lovable dog ever. And so I say all that to say that dream was an indication to me that number one of my animal guides is a dog, German shepherd, comes from the wolf family. um Number two, it was all about that childhood, fear, facing your fears, and, not running away and just facing your fears. So I still have a mild, like I said, a mild fear of dogs. It depends on whose dog it is. I don't trust any of my neighbors' dogs, especially when they don't have them on leashes, because everybody always says, oh, my dog doesn't bite until it bites you. So, anyway, wolf. Wolves symbolize strength, instinct, and intuition. And at that time, when I was having all those dog dreams, my intuition was on point. Like, my intuition was so heightened, it was crazy. It still is, but at that point I felt like I was leveling up. My intuition was really, really leveling up. And my animal guide was letting me know, hey, I have your back. There's nothing to fear, because that's also the shadow aspect a of the wolf spirit is feeling, you might be feeling threatened, there's a lack of trust and fear. And I, as a medium, as a developing medium, I was still having that lack of trust of my intuition with myself and my gifts, and really believing that what the things that I was sensing were really happening. So that those dreams were to let me know that spirits got your back, and you can trust your intuition, trust your instinct. You're on the right path. So also with the wolf spirit, it's all about a deep connection, with your intuition. And when you think about how a wolf operates, they need that deep connection with their intuition in order to survive. If think about it, even other animals as well too. If they don't have really good instincts out in the wild, out in nature, they'll get eaten up. They won't survive. So instincts, gut instincts, intuition is really, really key when it comes to having that wolf energy. So, the next one that I want to talk about is the cardinal. Cardinal, very, very popular animal spirit. The cardinal represents strong confidence, self confidence, assertiveness, power over self, and strong family ties, especially with your ancestors. The cardinal, if you're coming into contact with the cardinal a lot, there may have been there may be an ancestor who's trying to contact you, who's letting you know that they're around. A passed on loved one, an ancestor. And with the color red, this bird being of the color red, it also represents the root chakra, which is really key when you're talking about self confidence and family ties and foundations and ancestral happenings. So, ancestors like to present as cardinals. They like to come visit as birds, really, but cardinals in particular. I had a incident where I go to this park that I like to frequent, and for like 2 months, every time I stepped on the grounds, there not a cardinal, but it was a red winged blackbird. So the bird was black. I should have got the picture, but is black, a blackbird with red wings. How pretty. And this bird would always find me whenever I go to the lake. And I was like, who is this? I felt like it was my dad letting me know he was around. But it was happening for like 2 months straight. And every time I went to the lake, this red-winged blackbird would show up. And I'd be like, hey. And it would just like hang around me. If I was sitting down, it would just like hang around me. All right. So who are we going to talk about? Oh, yeah. I know a lot of people don't like this one. The spider. But the spider is don't sleep on the spider, okay? When it comes to spirituality and symbolism and what it means and the energy that it brings. Spiders can be gross, yes, but they hold a huge divine feminine energy, qualities of creativity, receptivity. um it's like because they weave their webs, they represent being skilled in weaving intricate webs and having the patience for waiting for its prey, because spiders create those webs, they weave those webs in order to trap in other insects to eat. So when we talk about the spider spirit, the spider symbolism, having a spider as a power animal helps you to tune into life's ups and downs and ebbs and flows to masterfully um, create or weave every step of your destiny. When you have the spider spirit around you, you are a co-creator, you are a creator, you're creative, you are birthing something, you are weaving something great for yourself, something that is going to be long lasting. Okay. So don't sleep on the spider. The spider represents Dharma. You know, as a weaver of the web, the spider represents the spirit of creation, also patience, receptivity, um, feminine energy, like I said. So, but the shadow aspect of the spider can be like, holding on to the darker aspects of life. When the spider shows up for you, it can guide you to integrate your personal situation, whatever you're going through right now, and to gain more clarity on your life. It helps you to understand how all things are connected and weaved together. All right. So, spider is really important. There was a time where spiders were showing up for me too in the beginning of, my my awakening journey. So I think I did everything that I needed to do here. Let me see if I have any comments, and we can go right to the pick a card reading. Okay. All right. So, like I said, this is a pick a card reading. So, I want everyone to take a moment Take a couple of deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling, and ground yourself. Okay. And pick which pile resonates with you the most. Is it pile number one, the amethyst pile? Is it pile number two, the rose quartz pile? Or is it pile number three with the clear quartz pile? So take a moment and feel out which pile works for you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I've already have the piles in front of me right now. And so I'm going to start with pile number one. Now, the first card is your current energy. So for pile number one, your current energy is the moth. And the moth energy represents being impulsive, being hasty, being wishful, like having that wishful attitude, like, oh, I don't understand why this is happening to me. I wish things could be better, but not really doing anything to make things better. So that's the kind of energy the moth holds. Thinking like, oh, the grass is greener on the other side when you know damn well it's really not. Okay. So pile number one, if you picked pile number one, you are currently the moth energy. And so the two messengers that are coming forth for you are the ladybug and the coyote. All right. So first, let's talk about the ladybug. The ladybug represents good luck. And the card says, you are a bright energy. Let worry go and be happy here and now. Feel good about being a loving and colorful you. You bless the world with color and good luck. All right. So here we go with the coyote. The coyote is the revealer of truth. Okay, so don't take things too seriously. Make time to play. Great wisdom comes from laughing at your own folly. Look out for the traps and tricks of life and learn from them. So I feel like pile number one, you are being told to don't take things so seriously and get out of that grass is greener energy. Get out of that wishful energy. Stop being so hasty and impulsive and allow things to just naturally be what they are. I feel like self acceptance, there's a need, pile number one, for self acceptance. And once you start accepting yourself, truths are revealed. Things are going to be coming to you that you didn't know before. All right. This is a really good time for you to do different things, to switch it up. Okay. There's a lot of fortune and luck in your path, but I feel like you're blocking your blessings, and you're not really like, you're focused on the wrong things. Okay, that's the perfect way to say you are focused in on the wrong things. So I got some clarifiers for you as well from the tarot, and we got the strength. Wow. The Nine of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. So these three cards are telling me that there is a definite need for inner work for you. Okay, let go of, stop being so hasty and impulsive and wishful, like that moth energy that you currently are, and really focus in on really doing that inner work, because you have the strength to do it. You have the power and the independence that you need to see that through. A little bit of work goes a long way, and you're on your way to expansion, and you're on your way to independence, and you're on your way to a lot of good luck. All right. And the guidance for you is be here now. Be here now, which means this is the hummingbird spirit. The guidance for you, the hummingbird is telling you to stay present. Okay, don't think about where you think that the grass is greener. Don't think about, oh, if I just had this, then I would have that. Don't be so impulsive. Don't be so hasty. Accept yourself, accept things where they are, and work with that energy. All right. So that was the cards for pile number 1. I will move on to pile number 2, which was the pile with the rose quartz heart on top of it. So currently, pile number 2, you are the deer. Yes, the deer energy. So the deer represents compassion. Deers are really sweet animals. They're very loving and graceful and highly intuitive, and they're like that motherly energy. All right. So, if you picked pile number 2, you are currently the deer, the beautiful deer energy. So, the animals that are stepping forward for you right now and bringing you messages. One is the grizzly bear, which talks about power. And the other is the dragon. Yes, who talks about the supernatural. So, pile number 2, the dragon and the grizzly bear. Grizzly bear says, I am indestructible. The grizzly bear represents power, and he says, I am indestructible. I honor my intuition and go where it leads. Love and gentleness are my real strength. I never give up. I will succeed. And the dragon message talks about the supernatural. Some people say that dragons are not real. I believe they are, but you choose to believe what you want to believe. The dragon is letting you know, pile number 2, that you are the ancient wise sage. All right. And I really feel that you are that energy with that deer energy coming through. You are an ancient, like you're an ancient soul. You're wise. You can shapeshift at will. Mastery is your destiny. Rise with dignity. Okay. And I feel like the deer energy and the dragon energy are really like coinciding and really, kind of like confirming each other, like they're the same energy. Okay, so ooh, the cards that you have, the tarot cards that you have, the clarifiers are the King of Cups, the Ten of Cups, and the Sun. So there is definite joy. Okay, these two cards are very joyous cards. So you are in the animal guides are sending you messages of joys, of love, of emotional balance. You are in a very powerful time right now, pile number 2, because right now you are embodying this deer energy. So I feel like a lot of you are highly intuitives, like intuitives who need to be um, practicing mediums, practicing healers. You need to be developing your gifts. If you picked pile number 2, you really need to be developing your gifts because It's going to allow you to feel a lot more confident. You're going to feel very powerful, and you're going to be able to use your wisdom and use your gifts to help others. And when you're helping others, you're helping yourself, and you're helping, the entire universe. Okay. And part of that by you helping others is going to bring you that emotional balance. Oh, I dropped the King of Cups. Is going to bring you that emotional balance, that happiness, that emotional fulfillment and joy, confidence, power that you're seeking. Because these two cards talk about power in very different ways. The grizzly bear is a hunter, obviously, but the sun card is power in the sense of being happy, choosing to be happy, being joyous, having that childlike energy where everything is right with the world and nothing can stop you. So, pile number 2, the guidance is watch and wait. Watch and wait. This is the seahorse spirit bringing you a message saying, watch and wait, because everything is a process. Not everything happens as quickly as we want to. I can attest to that because I too am still developing my gifts. And I always say I wish that I could be a fully developed medium and, be like someone like Teresa Caputo, the Long Island medium and stuff like that. But if I'm supposed to be that type of medium, then I will be that type of medium. It's all a process. You just have to watch and wait and do the work, right? So that's what the seahorse spirit is telling you to do. Pile number 2 is to watch and wait. Trust the process, do the work, and wait and watch how things roll in for you. All right. So those are the messages for pile number 2. All right. So pile number 3. Hold on a sec. Alrighty. Sorry, guys. So, pile number 3, the one that had the clear quartz on top of the pile. Pile number 3, you are right now embodying the tiger spirit, a fiery spirit, fiery energy, a fiery, even though it does represent fire, but this also represents the moon, like lunar energy, power, fearing nothing. A tiger is not scared of anything or anybody. Okay. They like run things and they don't care. And it's also, you see the moon right there. It's about being really, really in touch with your subconscious. And that's what kind of fuels your fear of nothing, because you already know you're like, I know myself. Okay. I know what to expect. I know what's going on. And I'm not afraid of anything. I'm running shit. So that's what the tiger operates fully in their sensuality, in their receptivity, and takes that, takes that, and that's what fuels their power. All right. So now the 2 messages from the animal spirits, the elk and the hawk. Now, the hawk, love this spirit, this energy. The hawk is a messenger. Whenever you see a hawk or an eagle, you definitely know that spirit is trying to contact you, because birds are messengers of spirit. Spirit is sending you messages. Open your greater vision to see the signs. Focus on priorities and eliminate distractions. You have a bright future. Let yourself ascend to new heights. That's the hawk spirit talking to you. All right. They are been trying to communicate with you. Your higher self, your ancestor, your guides have been trying to communicate with you. And if you've been running into hawks a lot, seeing them, um, that's an indication that spirit is trying to holla. All right. The elk spirit talks about nobility. The elk, if you think about that animal, they're very like regal, and they carry themselves with a certain amount of stature. So celebrate your accomplishments with humility. You are crowned with success. Powerful forces guide you. Your ability to conquer challenges is limitless. So pile number 3. All right, spirit is trying to make a connection with you, number 1, through the hawk spirit. And the elk spirit is also letting you know that you are so divinely guided and protected. You are crowned with success. So celebrate your accomplishments. I feel like some of you may have had some successes lately, and like normal people don't really like, most people don't really like to celebrate their successes, or don't celebrate themselves. But the elk spirit is letting you know that it's okay to celebrate yourself and your accomplishments. Okay, you were made for this. You are made to be successful. You are being divinely guided, and you can do anything. I need some water. You can do anything. All right. So, ooh, oh, awesome. Well, the tarot cards that came out as clarification, 10 of Swords, the High Priestess, love her, and the 9 of Wands. All right. So there is, for most of you, pile number 3, there is some things that you are putting to bed, some mental limiting beliefs, some sort of situation that really had you mentally exhausted, that you are finally putting to bed and opening yourself up to spirit, and opening up yourself to your higher self, your spirit self, with the high priestess here. Again, another pile which I feel like who is highly intuitive. A lot of you may be tapping into your gifts right now, and it's an exhausting process. It really can be. But you have, once you let go of that negative mental energy, it allows you to open up your heart and create a whole new space for yourself and see things differently, in a whole new light. I can't find the video. What does that mean? It allows you to open yourself in a whole new light. Maybe, hi Joy, maybe you can go, is it on YouTube? Because I'm supposed to be streaming to Facebook, the group, and YouTube. It should be streaming to YouTube right now. um yeah, so pile number 3, I feel like most of you are letting go and letting go of negative mental energy, things that have been weighing you down, that you've been carrying on your shoulders, on your back for a really long time, and creating a whole new space for yourself, a whole new energy for yourself. And that's what Spirit's been trying to tell you, probably, and sending you messages of let go of the negative and step into your power because you are meant for success. So, the guidance comes from the porcupine spirit, and talks about time for a beginner mind. And what this means is beginner mind is talking about just starting off with a clean slate. Like I was trying to say before, you're letting go of the negative energy, the limiting beliefs that you were holding on to for so long, and you're starting fresh, starting with that beginner mind, and you've opened yourself to a whole bunch of new opportunities, new way of seeing things, and just new ways of operating. So that's what the porcupine spirit talks about, time for a beginner mind. So I feel like there might be a problem. There might have been a problem with my stream, but I'm going to keep going. So all those are piles number 1, piles number 2, and piles number 3. Those were the messages. And let's see. Oh, today is Halloween. So happy Halloween to everyone who celebrates that. I'll be taking my kids out trick or treating later. And if my reading resonates with you, if you like my work and you want to book a private reading with me, you can do that on my website. And also, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment, and all that good stuff, and even share it on your timeline if you feel called. And next week, I will be discussing shadow work, what it is, and how to do it. So, that will be the end of the video for now. And I want to thank you all for tuning in. I hope my stream was going through because someone said that they can't find the video, left a comment. So I hope this video finds you guys eventually out there on Facebook or YouTube. In any case, I want to thank you for watching if you're watching during the replay. And I will see you next time. Take care.